Hopefully you guys can hear me because there's a lot of wind right now. I've got it in like a little like nook thing here. But yeah, I thought this was really important. It's some thoughts that I had the other day, some messages that came in. There's been this whole thing about parasites and everything like that. I mean, the tiniest little thing, right? How it can invade and take over, and how it can create a lot of physical ailments and stuff like that. They're starting to come out with it more and more. It's starting to trend, and I say trend in like the most responsible way. What's been around for a very long time, even before we existed, the whole idea of microorganisms, aquatic, and parasites. They've been around for a long fucking time. And they can do some damage if they're gone unmanaged. If they are not figured out in a human body especially, they can wreak havoc. They can do a lot of fucking damage. And I think it's very important. I almost think at this point it may be even I want to go so far as to say like the cure for cancer, but I'm not going to make any speculation. That's just an opinion at this point in time. Keep in mind, guys, my subscribers, my viewers, I am not a licensed physician. And if you have any ailments, please seek professional attention and help for anything that you may have. But I do fully promote doing things in a holistic matter, even spiritual matter, and doing the cleansing from the body, from the inside out, not just physically, but spiritually as well. And what's really messed up is that if you do end up getting anything like a parasite or something like that, they do have studies that have shown that it takes over your emotion, your mood, what you eat, what you crave. And when it comes to the mentality of a person, even to what sort of actions you're going to take, it's like a preservation thing. And if you're not fully aware of what's inside of you, what is controlling you, then you ultimately could be making decisions based off of something that you're hosting. And when I say host, that could mean so many different things. But in this case, I'm talking biologically. And it's very important that we are doing this responsibly. And when it comes to certain cleanses and stuff like that, you do have to do it a certain way because parasites do carry other things. And as they're dying, they do release certain things, which I was informed of. I did some research on that as well. So it's not just like a one-day treatment. This is something that is long-term, and you want to make sure you're cleansing properly. So please do your research. I advise you to do your research. Everybody in the tarot community is slowly starting to talk about this. It's not new. And it is very important that this information get out, because when it comes to like the spiritual side and how much this has an effect on that, and even religion and everything, what do they say when it comes to the devil or the demonic entities or energies or anything like that? The devil says something along the lines of been around since the beginning of time, right? So not just the angelic side of it, the godly side of it, but the more demonic or devil side of it has been around since time. Well, what else has been around since the beginning of time? Clearly, parasites or any microorganisms or anything that's aquatic has been around for a very, very long time. This is something we should be paying attention to, not just like sending things out into outer space, but we should be diving deep into the oceans that we already have here on Earth, so to speak. And what's crazy about this whole download that I got is that the amount of healing that's needing to be done, not just physically but emotionally, is really important. So you've got people right now that are governing and making rules for everybody else, and they are not healed creatures. They are in maybe adult form, but they have a lot of childhood traumas and stuff like that. And the thing is when we're not addressing our inner demons or even cleansing our bodies from the inside out, there's certain things that are governing and ruling us that we are just starting to figure out. And the problem that I'm seeing is that what was initially done, let's say during the sweep, when they did the whole, during the big fall, and they did the baby boomers and all that shit, and they tried to revamp, so to speak, society and every way that things are run. It's almost like individuals that weren't healed or that weren't cleansed are the ones that decided to make decisions for everybody else and have it go a certain way, even down to the whole idea of the bubonic plague and having people buried 6 feet underground, like, and how that shouldn't apply nowadays. It's really messed up how there's a lot of things that were made for certain time periods that we're still following. Even the whole idea that we're following a maritime law, but we're on land. The whole idea that when you get a fingerprint or your first footprint as a child when you come out the womb, instead of taking a step on solid ground, soil, earth, you're actually getting your footprints done on a piece of paper as your first imprint. The first footprint should be done on land. It shouldn't be done on a piece of paper as a document that could be used as a form of anything against any child. And so basically what I'm getting at is this whole idea of war and everything. You've got a lot of people that are being run emotionally, possibly, this is just my opinion, of internal things that are governing them, whether it be organic or spiritual, if you want to call them inner demons. But we're seeing a lot of things that are very, very similar, like the way that certain parasites even look that host in human bodies, or that human bodies host, sorry, I want to put it that way, that look very demonic. I mean, little creatures look pretty scary, but they can do a lot of damage, and they do have a reputation for controlling a human body. Even when it comes to the insect world or even animals, the way parasites are controlling certain animals is fucked up. It's like it takes over the entire vessel itself. Really needs to be taken a look at even deeper than they have already touched on. I understand that the Cancer Society and everybody that does the medical work in the field and all the donations that they get for, I don't know how many decades this has been going on, but have been collecting a lot of money globally, and how there's so far doesn't seem to be any answers. But this is looking like a very good cause. And it's looking like that could be a possibility. It could really very well be microscopic. It could very well be parasitic. It could very well be the cause of what a lot of ailments are. And I hope that any of that stuff that they're talking about, like back in the day, I would consider myself like a conspiracy theorist. Now, I don't even look at things like that. I look at things completely differently. But I would hope that they're not purposefully injecting people with anything that is small enough that could grow inside a human being, because that's not okay. But the only thing that I can think of, the reason why they would do such a thing, is to remain in control. And the only reason a person would want to remain in control is because of the fact that they don't want to take accountability, or they don't want to face their inner demons. They don't want to face their fears. They don't want to do the healing work, which we all should be doing. Our ancestors knew about this. Our ancestors knew about cleansing. It's very important since we're little to be taught to wash our hands before we put them in our mouth. And I know there's a lot of places out there or people that don't do that. And what's interesting about parasites is what do? They procreate. They feast off of hosts. They just use people as like a vessel. And a lot of angry people, a lot of the times it comes down to being used as a host. It's messed up. Hopefully you understand what I'm getting at. Anyways, if you like my videos, like, share, subscribe, and remember to love you. Please do.